Hey, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Stephen Jones here with Downtown at the Shanty. But as you can see, the Shanty's not behind me here. We are on a limited edition of Downtown, uh, mainly because of this blasted COVID. It's getting into everything, man. It's kind of like a terrible twos, I guess. Uh, you got to be careful with it. I know there's a lot of controversy on it. And people saying, wow, it's really not. I'm going to tell you what. I don't know what's true, what isn't true. I know that I've had it. I know that I've had the flu. I've been clogged up, and I can't stand it. It's a real pain. Um, my staff has had it. My family has had it. I've just had it. I mean, really. I'd like to see everyone just get healthy. You got to drink your coffee in this kind of a cup. See that?
Mm.
See? That's what we need. It's this cup with M&Ms. It's the happy cup. Lots of fluids, all kinds of stuff. You know, I think the best thing I can tell people is not be afraid of it. Just deal with it. Whatever your doctor says, just get to them and just do it. Yeah, we're staying in here, and we're going to venture back out to the Shanty in a few weeks. I'm kind of ducking the holiday surge. Maybe it's something else. I don't know. I know there's opinions on everything. We're not going to get into all that. All we care about is being healthy, having a good time. It's music, man. That's what it is. Music heals everything. So if you're a sick person, okay, and a different context of being sick, listen to music. It makes you feel better. So that's what we're here about tonight. Some things that are in the works. We have doing our due diligence during this downtime, if you will. We've got some meetings coming up amongst our members. We're sitting around talking about some modifications of shows. Tom Cooney has some new guests coming over the next few months. Mike Duck has some new things coming as well. So they will be getting a new show out every Monday. The way they're working is Tom is one Monday, Mike is the following Monday, and then they will repeat those shows on the third and fourth Mondays. If there's 5 Mondays in the month, it's really cool. We get to see Tom and Mike arm wrestle. I don't really know how they solve that. It's just all of a sudden somebody does. Oh, and we got, this is great. We have somebody coming in here tonight who I am so happy to see. Okay, and we're going to switch ourselves back to the gallery view. Okay. And this is Todd Moyer here. He's with the Todd Moyer Band. And
Hello?
okay, and he's going to give us some really cool stuff here. My co-host, my pulse taker and keeper of the keys of Hogwarts, okay, Sherry Bain. I don't know if she's actually coming in on camera. No, her camera is just still off, but she's been definitely a great help. And since she's taken over as a stage manager down at the Shanty and running stuff down there, the downtown show has been fabulous. I'm gonna just extend a big applause to Alexis Steele and Josie Jancy, Kenny Hunt, Paul Rosa, Joe Holler, and Sherry for doing just a bang-up job down there. Okay, no one drove into the wall. But and also to Joe Tascatori, and I said his name wrong, I'm sure. But Joe, thanks so much, and you're doing a great job down there. I really am upset with your bacon-wrapped scallops, because in order to get the amount I need to satisfy this hunger of mine of your bacon-wrapped scallops, I have to buy like 6 platters. So, I mean, they are so good. Oh, my God. I mean, they're almost offensive. I mean, Sherry left here already. Did I say something? I showered. Anyway, Todd, what did you do? Did you, kick her out or something?
No, I didn't kick her out. I didn't kick anybody out. I'm here just waiting.
Okay, but tell me, Todd, so it's great to have you here. We've been going back and forth.
Yeah. It's been what? A couple weeks?
Yeah, well, we ran. I'm going to put this on jumping back and forth on speaker because it's people can see us better there, and
Well,
but yeah, it's been a couple weeks. I mean, originally you were going to appear down at the Shanty,
correct. Tonight
yeah,
we
and
ended up. Yep. Then we ended up doing a live stream here at my studio, and kicking that off, and then doing the interview. So hey, it's a win-win situation. I know some artists can't do that at all, and so then they lose out, uh, with everything. But a lot of artists can do it, and we're fortunate that I have the ability to do that.
some guys can do this stuff, some guys can't, and it's. Um, I mean, I don't want to say it's simple because it's not.
No.
It's the simplistic is in how to do it. The complication is to make the thing look good when you get up here because sometimes that's where you run into the trouble with live broadcasting or
Yeah.
Facebook Live or what have you. It's not. I mean, it's a camera and it's a software. You push the button, off you go, and it's not like a Polaroid one step. I know all the kids just said, "What is that?" Uh, everyone says, oh, "Okay, she was just testing to see if she could get in or not," so she's not going to be joining us tonight. But
Okay.
the Polaroid one step. I mean, for all you guys out there that are totally technical, cool, the Polaroid one step was this camera you hold up to your face and you press it, and this thing comes out,
Yeah.
and then this thing would develop in your hand. It was so cool. It was instant photographs, not like this trash they have today where it gets stored in your phone where you can have 50 million photographs. Anyway, the process is easy. It's the technique and getting it to look good and sound good. Sound is the big challenge. So,
Well, doing it by solo is a lot easier than doing it with the band. I can't bring. The only way I do it with the full band is in a different in a venue, and then having it have it download or in the mixing board with the full band, and yet that takes a lot of work. But when you do a solo like I did tonight, it's a lot easier with backing tracks. It's just much more economically, truthfully, as well.
well, the thing is when you do it with a full band, okay, or anything over one or two instruments, drums or what have you, you start to overload the inputs.
Yeah.
The fact you have to recognize, people need to recognize, is that on these little devices, okay, which we're trying to show right here, on these little devices, the microphone is a piece of plastic. Think, it's a piece of mylar or plastic wrap, and it's stretched over some form of receptor, okay, electronic, transformer or coil of wire, what have you, and
Yeah.
it's only going to be able to take so much frequency, okay,
Yeah.
because it's going to go, it's going to just blow it off. First off, it's not going to take any bass, okay.
Not a lot. Not a
No,
lot.
it can't. Yeah, and so it's going to accent all the high end. So what's going to happen is that the computer inside, the software inside, has to interpret what it's hearing and flip it all around through the means of equalization. So what you're
Right.
getting, and I mean, we're dealing with that right here. I mean, even this microphone here, this is a Sennheiser. It's a $350 microphone, and it's one of the higher end mics. But even so, it's still, when this thing goes into the mixing board, it's got to be interpreted. You know,
Right. Right. Like what you're saying. What you're saying. I was just telling my partner here, Christian, that the mixing board main out goes to whether it's your phone jack, or your computer, but you gotta have. It's called a TRRS, I think it is. It's a splitter, and that goes from your mixing board into your phone jack, And that's where the mixing your guitar, bass, drums, or backing tracks go in, and it takes that and it I don't know what it does. It brings it somehow the volume gets even out.
It massages
So
the
you're
frequency.
yeah, correct. And that's where you get the best quality. So a lot of artists don't even know how to do it. They say, "Well, how do you do this?" I just told you how to do it. It's
And,
simple, yet it's still you got to know how to do it.
well, yeah, you have to have your brain has to kind of flip upside down to try to think about how to do it. You know, back in the day, and I found this out by accident, and your DJ partner can verify this. But back in the day, your old turntables with your needles and everything else, you know,
Yeah.
your vinyl is actually if you would play your vinyl straight cold off of it and into an amplifier, it's going to come out sounding very high and scratchy with almost no
Yeah.
bass. So what happens is vinyl had your turntables had their own preamps, which when it went in there, it flipped it around, changed it all up, EQ'd it, got rid of the hiss, got rid of all the bumps and scratches and all the air crap that was in there. Okay, you know, everyone says, "Oh, vinyl is a pure way." No, it's manipulated like you wouldn't believe. It's manipulated almost as much as the digital stuff from DVD, but differently. It's different.
Right.
Okay, you know, your bottom end's picked up, your top end's squished, the pops and
Yeah.
hisses are taken out with the, you know, and it's all kinds of. Then it's boosted up to where it's at the aux input level and shot in at that point. There's actually two preamps that work
Uh,
for a turntable.
right. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
Do I prefer playing live? Absolutely. Do I
yeah,
prefer playing live with the full band? Absolutely. If
yeah,
the fun's there, absolutely.
yeah.
If not, then you do you either do live stream or you do a solo, and you still get the best of both worlds if you do it right.
Yeah. And you know, like anything with sound and learning video, if you can wrap your foot around your head and stick it in your ear, you can usually do what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah.
I mean
For
that's a
sure.
crazy way of
Oh,
describing it, but that's really what you have to deal with.
but
And
you have to know. You have to know. You have to know. Not. You have to have knowledge. And if you don't have knowledge, you better get knowledge.
when I when I first opened up, okay, my video editor, I sat there and looked at this thing. It says, "Okay, go do this." It's like everything was a leap of faith. You know,
Well,
Not at all.
I mean, here's something that's funny. That's off the cuff.
yeah.
My son-in-law got this helicopter, whatever it's called. It's a four propellers, right?
Oh,
And
yeah, I know what you're talking about.
yeah. So he says, I want to go and fly it out. So we took it out behind our house, and I said, well, just don't worry about the directions. Just start going, right? And so he goes, well, all right, that's fine. We'll do it because he needs to calibrate it, so that it syncs with your phone. Well, that didn't work very well. So we got it working, and it just went way on the other side, almost to the next town. We couldn't see it. We go, where did it go? We're like, where did it go? So here it comes back. It's coming back. It's like, like 2 miles out, and it's coming back. So, make the long story short, read the directions.
Yeah. Well, I don't believe in reading directions until after you screw everything up. But
That's right.
do you remember? I mean, we are so far off topic here. Do you remember years ago those little Cox gas-powered race cars and airplanes?
Yes.
Yeah, you have to start them, and then takes off and right.
Yep.
My father got one, and we didn't know how to control it. And the way you would control it is that you had this. I don't know who come up. It was. Forgive me to all the engineers. I work with engineers for over 20 years. Okay.
Yeah.
And you engineers, you come up with things. You think they're a great idea, then it ends up looking like an Etzel. But they come up with this idea that a guy stands there and you can control how this airplane flies by holding this thing, this handle, and you move it this way, it goes that way, it goes this way, and you just move it back and forth, and it's very convenient on
Yeah.
a 20-foot tether, right? So my old man gets a hold of this thing, gets the thing started, and he goes, "Okay, here it goes, kids, watch, it's fun." And my dad starts spinning my father around. And all we hear is my dad going, son of a, he's swearing like hell, and this thing's going around. My dad's, it's like this comedy movie. All of a sudden, you hear the thing go, it goes, boom, and it explodes. Okay? So it was fun for about 5 minutes.
Well, anyway.
All right, so we're here to talk about music. So you play a kazoo, right? You know.
Well, I guess you can call it electric kazoo.
Okay, so how long have you been playing? You play guitar. Your band is basically a heavy metal, because that's what we're hearing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Christian hard rock.
All right, go into it. Tell us about the Todd Miller Band.
Todd Moyer Band started 30 years ago.
Todd Moyer Band. Forgive me. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's fine. I started 30 years ago. The band was actually called Fair Warning, and just in the last five years, I changed it to TMB, Todd Moyer Band. I started playing professionally when I was 16. Started guitar when I was 15, somewhere around there. I don't remember. 30 years ago, probably over 30 years now. And we've had the opportunity to perform and play and work with national recording artists up to date. Petra, White Cross, Striper. Worked with 2 different singers. One singer from Kansas that sang for Kansas, and the other singer that sang for the band Head East. If anybody knows the names Head East, the name of the song was Any Been a Reason. I think that's what it is. Any Been a Reason was one of their top 10s. And then, of course, Kansas with Carrier, Wayward Son, and Dust in the Wind. And then in between that, recordings. We have, how many CDs do I have? 4 CDs out, something like that. And we tour all over the country. We do our own in-house bookings. Nobody handles it except we have, in-house people to help, facilitate, things like that. But I've stayed in the Christian market for over 30 years, and yet we are doing a lot of we do a lot of different types of venues and different types of concerts. And we do I do instrumental and vocal shows.
Okay, so Mike, the question is pretty obvious here. Christian rock could be considered like a two-edged sword because people don't necessarily gravitate, or the impression I would have is people don't necessarily gravitate to Christian rock. They're more apt to go after, the Grateful Dead, the Skulls and Crossbones, the Ozzy Osbournes, and that kind of stuff. You say Christian rock, people think, oh, right away you're a holy roller. Okay, so could you address that?
That is something that we had. For 30 years. How do we address it? We address it exactly the way I tell you. We are a Christian hard rock band, Van Halen style, or Dokken style, or in those lines. But yet we don't come off as I don't know how you say it, but we come off as a just as a band with Christian artists in the band, but when we perform music that gets people excited, because we are kind of like a Van Halen style. My style, it represents Van Halen-ish, but yet we don't come off as your high holy roller,
Well,
and that's what makes us different.
what would separate or define you as a Christian rock band as opposed to a Van Halen? Like Van Halen does the song "Running with the Devil" or "You Really Got Me,"
Yeah.
and that kind of thing. Now you're going to turn around and I'm going to hear you playing a Van Halen style. What's the difference between what Van Halen's sitting there thinking, "Girl, you really got me now. You got me, really got it going." Now, what's your counter to that, and how does it make it Christian?
Lyric,
How was that?
the name of the song. It can be the lyrics, the name of the song, how we perform the songs, how we uh, uh, how we generate our vocally. Um, it's just we take life, we take everyday life, and we put it into what our life is, and that's how we project our lyrics. That's what the lyrics are based on, even though it's based on Christianity, but we base it on our lives. Hey, we're Christians, but yet we still fall short. We're not perfect. I'm not sitting here stating that I'm a perfect man. I am by no means a perfect man, but I do know from right to wrong, and
Okay.
that's how we look at
Do you have songs like, and again, I don't know your whole playlist. What comes to mind here is something like this. There's a young man, and I talk about this guy constantly because I'm always pushing him.
it.
Galen Deary, a very positive sound, very warm, embracing sound that this kid can come up with.
Sure.
You're always. I mean, I heard some of the songs you're doing, and they're very. It's a powerful. It's the rock. Do you ever mellow it back to maybe acoustic sound, where it's something kind of more? What's the word I'm looking for? Mellow. Can you go back to mellow, something more, a little more acoustic, a little more close to the heart, and where you're just kind of sitting there thinking, if I could fly, da 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 da, da 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 da, something like that, or let it be, or whatever. You follow what I'm trying to say? Yeah,
Yeah.
Do you ever get
Absolutely.
into that kind of mode?
Sometimes, it's very. I can play acoustic. Um, Here's the difference between when somebody is playing acoustic compared to what I do. When I play acoustic, I hear myself when I play non-electric guitar. I play it in a way that when somebody hears it, they're weeping, or I'm making it so that it is not just an acoustic song. It's more than just an acoustic song. It has a meaning. Solos or strumming. It has to have a meaning. And I don't do it all the time, but when I do, it's got to have a meaning. And if it's not there, I don't do it.
Okay.
So what you're talking about, it's the same thing as doing electric or an acoustic. It's got to have meaning, no matter how you look at it.
Okay, I'm following you. It sounds okay. I'm assuming most of your stuff is like you don't do a whole lot of covers. Everything you're doing is
It's all original.
yeah, it's all original stuff. Now, we had talked earlier about some of the licensing agents, and I just want to touch upon this so it's mainly for myself for some knowledge.
Uh-huh.
Do you register your music through the big three or the pros, or do you go through another licensing agent that's more in tune with gospel and religious type music, or are you not religious? You're Christian, and then you go through ASCAP or BMI.
We are Fair Warning Ministries is a Christian ministry. Everything goes through there, through my publishing company. From the publishing company goes to ASCAP.
Okay, so you go through ASCAP. You're not actually a gospel or a worship ministry, such as like the
Correct.
Episcopal Church or the Catholic Church. You're not going that direction.
No.
Okay.
No.
All right. So that's very interesting. Let's take a second here. We've got 3 songs that we have with you, and I'm sure people are like, well, let's hear some of this stuff. I say so. Let's put this on, and I've got 3 here. ROL. I constantly forget what that stands for.
River of Love.
River of Love. I keep on saying River of Life, but River of Love. We've got Coming Home, and we've got Wishing Well.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, which one would you like me to play?
I don't care which one. Do Wishing Well.
Okay, Wishing Well. Alrighty. So here is the Todd Moyer Band and Wishing Well. Now, guys out there watching this, give me a second to get this straightened out because it's the system. Okay, now it's sitting here thinking about it. I love technology. Windows is
technology
great. I
is
love
great.
Windows. I just love Windows. I do. I love Windows.
And you got to love it or hate it.
Yep. Wait a minute. Here it goes. It's working, and it's not doing what I wanted to do. Oh, there it goes. All right, hang on. Let's start it again. Here we go. Wishing Well. No, it did the wrong song now. There we go. Wow. That was awesome. Absolutely
Thank you.
fantastic. Yes, I love that. You're going to get yourself a fan here. You keep this stuff up. You know,
Oh
no,
man,
I
I
love
do
that.
appreciate it.
You know what's really cool? I think a lot of bands have, not a lot, but some have started to incorporate, and I love what it does to it. And I'm sitting here thinking, and I'm an AC/DC fan, I'll admit, and I'm a Van Halen
Sure.
fan, okay, coming up through the 70s, okay. And with that in mind, I liked Air Supply. But,
Sure.
oh, where does that come in? But anyway, I actually saw Air Supply in concert. Anyway,
Ah,
yeah, I did. They're at the
cool.
State Theater. I cannot believe how high that guy's. I can't believe how high you sing. How the heck you get up there? But
Well, um, it takes practice, but I don't know if I can get up that high anymore.
I'm a natural bass, and uh, the song Elvira is the best example I can use of my range. And when
Okay.
that guy goes oom bapa mow mow, I'm right there with the guy. I am.
Yeah.
But when you start to sing like Bon Jovi, wow, living on a, I mean, I'm like 3 octaves down in the basement on that, and I'm off key, you know. And if I keep singing that way, my days in the music industry are like done. So, but what's happened in metal, okay, and it's become a surprise, is bagpipes.
What?
Yeah, every now and
What?
again, bagpipes show up, and it's got,
Probably in a song, right?
yeah. Like what you're doing on there, somebody will break off to a set of bagpipes on the side, and
Okay.
it's got this. It's such a contrast to what's going on. Okay,
Yeah.
or in
Yeah.
your case, you might try just a harp or something like that. But
Sure.
yeah, it's got that. I mean, because what's happened, I think, with music, okay, and mainly metal. Metal hasn't changed a lot over the years. Okay, I mean, what was back in the '80s was awesome. It came out, guys are doing this stuff. I mean, you have such a driving bass on that thing. I love it. But what's happened is it's like after a certain point, it all sounds the same. Okay, I'm not saying you sound the same. I'm saying it after a point it
Right.
does. So people try to
Right.
mix it up, and that's what happened in the early '80s. They really
Yeah.
started to mix things up, and a lot of stuff happened back then. And I'm listening to you, and it's like this is '80s. You have got
Yeah.
that. You have got that grip and every. I just loved it. I really did. And I'm listening to this, thinking, where is the Christian part of this thing here? Is somebody going to sit there going, oh, holier than that? And there's none of that. Okay, it's just a wishing well. It had a positive message. You're looking into the wishing well, and
Correct. Correct. I didn't make it. I'm making it into a positive message
right.
for people to understand what it is, and people are going to ask questions. That is what I meant for it
And you got it.
to go.
Well, this is why you're around for 30 years, and why it's working.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah. Uh,
that's it.
Certain songs will have, uh, biblical meaning. Other songs are positive message, and other songs are life turning messages. That's the way I write.
We have well let's try this. There's two things I can go here, two ways I can go, but let's do the first one. We have another Christian rock musician, and I would like you to reach out to him when you have a chance, but it's Damon Price.
Okay.
Okay, the guy's got the John Lennon look down like you wouldn't believe.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I mean, you look at him, and if you're quickly scanning a crowd, you think he's John Lennon. Yeah, it's like, wait, did I just see something over here? Heck of a nice guy, and he does a nice singing job. Okay,
Give me his information.
yeah, I have to look him up, but he is on Facebook, Damon
Okay.
Price, and he's actually actually cut an album. He did vinyl. I said, Dave,
Oh, wow.
why'd you do vinyl? But anyway, but I'd like you to look him up. And then I had a second point I was going to make. And do you think I can remember? I knew I was going to forget the second one. Let's see. What's my timestamp here? Let's do another song.
Okay.
All right. So this one's Coming Home.
Yeah.
All right. How about we do that? Here it comes.
Now, this one, before you play it, this one is actually live guitar
Okay.
with a live guitar with studio backing track.
Okay. Live guitar, studio backing track, and here we go. Hang on a minute. I gotta hit the button.
Richmond Vince have big flavor.
Yeah. We have a question from somebody out in the audience. They want to know if you get your inspiration, and I think you actually addressed this partially, but they want to know if you get your inspiration from, biblical passages and that kind of thing. Let me see if I can get the exact question here. Wrong button. I want to know if you, come on, scroll down, Steve. Do you guys, oh, sure. You guys get any of your inspiration from Bible passages or verses?
Yes. In fact, wishing well is actually from in the Bible. The woman at the well is what it actually came from. Woman at the well, and I just called it wishing well. River of love, same thing in the passage of passages in the Bible. Coming home. Not so much in the Bible. Coming home is actually much more of life story, and even though that's an instrumental, inspiration came from the Bible, from home, being out on the road, going away, coming home. Somebody, being away for such a long time and coming home, and we have all kinds of that with the biblical passages, in the Bible, and we separate everything, and we go from area to area, like the prodigal son from the Bible.
Okay, there was one song that came out many years ago that was based on Bible lyrics. To everything, turn, turn. Turn. And
who was that by? I forget.
It's by the Birds, I think.
Yes. You're right.
And I believe it was based in part by Ecclesiastes. A time for love, a time for something, it's a time for everything. And I remember that. It was out of the 60s, I believe.
I think it was. No, but I did not know that it was from a biblical standpoint, but if that is, that's cool.
Yeah, pretty sure. Matter of fact, I think it made number one. Hang on a second.
I think it did make number one, right?
Yeah. It's a little hard to see, but book of number one hits from Billboard.
Yeah.
So let me do this here real quick. This book is so old. How old is it? To everything, turn, turn, turn. Let's see if I can find it. I should have had this right at my fingertips while I'm thinking about it. Give it to the back. Oh, sure. It ends at S. The pages I lost.
Oh, geez.
Wait a minute. The Birds. It's Artist Index. 188.
It's James Taylor?
No. That's wrong by
Oh, okay. I got it.
another number one.
Here it is. The Birds. Turn, turn, turn. Now, am I going to be able to read this without my glasses? As being the number one single with the most ancient lyrics. Okay, Peter Seeger adapted the words from the book of Ecclesiastes, making this the oldest chart topper of the rock era. The Birds were playing, the Birds were playing their own instruments in Turn, 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 their second number one single. It was only their first number one. See number 178, Mr. Tambourine Man. And the other track on the first LP were musicians were blah, 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 blah. Let's see here. Let me zip down through. Interesting story behind it. I don't have to go into all of it. But, yeah. Turn. Book of Ecclesiastes.
Wow. Was Jeff Beck in the Birds at that time?
It doesn't state who was. Hang on a minute.
I think he was in the Birds at that time and then left.
It doesn't give the listing of who was in it.
Okay. Okay. I have to look that up.
Yeah. I'm sure you can find out this very easily. Just Google it. That would give you all the
When
information.
he left the birds.
I don't know. Let's see here.
I don't know.
Crosby.
What-
Wait a minute. Something here. No, it doesn't say anything about Beck. I thought it said back. I don't got my glasses on, so I can't see everything
Okay.
perfectly.
That's fine. That's cool.
But yeah,
No, but that's interesting.
yeah, very. I mean, I knew it was from something long ago, but the Book of Ecclesiastes. I like
Okay.
that.
Okay.
So so you've got some old lyrics in there, and that's good. Don't do anything in from the Book of Revelation. Heavy metal and Revelation, I don't think would work out too well together. Here comes the Four Horsemen and the thing with 10 heads. That's it, man. I'm leaving the earth. I'm out of here. I ain't gonna do this. So, but we got one more here. ROL, and then once again, because my brain is so well tuned, it's River of Love.
Love.
I remembered. Mark this down, somebody. So
Now let me ask you this: are you showing the video, or are you just playing the song?
you're getting a video on this.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. The video's going out. I mean, you're not seeing it because of where you are in what you call it
Oh,
here,
that's fine.
because of
That's
Zoom.
fine.
But if you tune in on the Rock and the Valley channel on YouTube, you'll see the video.
Okay.
But
Yeah,
last week
again,
also.
This one here is a live guitar along with backing track. So people are hearing live guitar with the real backing track.
All right, well, let's do it. River of Love. you, I had to listen for the cut there because the video is 3 hours long.
Yeah, the 3 hours, the video probably just did not get cut off, but I had to redo that video anyway.
Okay, I'm watching this here and thinking, what is this? And so, okay, I like that though. You play an awesome guitar, man. I gotta tell you, you're serious
Thank you.
about that thing. You are. You really are. What do you play there? What kind is that?
This one is actually a one that I built. I built most of all my guitars. This is a no brand. It's actually an armor guitar, which is what my guitars are based off of. But I built this one. This is what you probably saw in the last two videos, and then in the first video, I have a PV Wolfgang Eddie Van Halen's. I got two of those guitars. But all the other guitars, like this one, I built myself.
Okay. So you're fortunate you can do that. As a keyboardist, I can't do that. I can't build the accordion, nor can I build the. I can't build my Yamaha, although I can fix it. You know. I did have a Voss Baby Grand in my living room when I used to live in Easton, and I sold the thing. I was ill for about a month after I sold it. But what happened? It was just too big for the house, and I sold the thing. And the guy who took it didn't secure it to his trailer.
Oh no!
Goes over a railroad track, and this 1929 antique Voss Baby Grand flies off the trailer and lands in a million pieces. Comes back and he blames me. He wants his money back. It's like, well, what am I supposed to do with it? Make toothpicks? You know. So that didn't happen.
Well, I guess he did secure it good enough.
Oops. Yeah. So I actually felt bad for him. I mean, the thing was in cherry condition. It could have used, some of the ivory could have used replacing, but other than that,
sure.
I mean, it had a bottom end on it that would shake the windows. So
wow.
Oh yeah, but so you've been playing since. We got about 2 or 3 minutes. We can wrap up here, but you've been playing since like forever, haven't you?
Since I was 16.
16. Okay, yeah, you did mention that earlier. I forgot that.
Yep.
So,
yep.
I'll tell you what. We will have an off-camera conversation about getting some of your music onto our audio feed, if that's okay with you.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and we'll talk about how we go about doing that, and share love out with some of your friends if they want to get themselves on our cyber feed here. We can do that. And you did mention an event coming up, so you want to talk about that real quick?
Yeah, our tour actually starts in May. And we are going to be in the Quakertown area. We don't have a date exactly set yet. It'll come after this weekend. We'll have all that information, and I'll give all that information to you so that way you can kind of let everybody know where we're going to be. But our tour starts the first week of May, and then we head on out to Rhode Island. Where else are we going to be? Where else are we going to be? I forget where else we're going to be. Rhode Island, Indiana, Michigan, Wisconsin. There's a couple others that I can't. I have my paper somewhere.
Well, we'll get a list on it. We can always just post it on the website or something.
Yeah, I'll give you the list. But we got a couple things going on. I'm in the studio again for some new material. I got a brand new band. They're based all over California, Michigan, Delaware, PA. California. So I got people from all over, and then we're ready to hit the road again.
Now, you want to talk about that thing that you're doing with me, or is that not for release yet?
Yes. In fact, in June 12th in Ardmore, PA, we are doing, it's called Guitar Masters Festival. It's the third one. And we have 4 artists or bands, or between 4 and 5 artists and bands to come down, perform at the Rusty Nail. $10 to get in. That is to see all the bands for that night. Hard rock, jazz, pop, rock, metal, whatever. If you want to get on the bill, email me or contact me, and we'll get you on the bill. You're obviously will be if you want to be on the bill, you can be on the bill. It's Christian Jackson, our DJ here. He's going to be there as well, running sound and making sure that everybody is on and off the stage, timely manner.
That's tough to do.
Yeah. And it's actually close to Villanova College. It's a great place. It's been going for, I forget how long it's been going, but I know Peter Frampton is part of it. Somehow he's part of their the system, radio system there. And of course one of the drummers from the Tonight Show comes in there once in a while, and it's got.
Well, we're gonna bring a crew. I'm hoping to bring a team down, and we get what, 30 minutes, something like that.
If it's 4 artists, then you get 40 minutes. If it's 5 bands, then it's 35 minutes.
All right, we will figure it. We'll talk out the details there, but I know I can put together a real nice stage for you, and I got a couple of people in mind I'd like to bring down, and we'll set something up, and we'll talk about it. But so, Todd, I'd like to thank you very much. It's been a blast and very educational. Okay, very educational. You've got some great music, and you're a great addition to Rock in the Valley. This was a great show. I loved it. It was really good to meet you.
Oh,
yeah.
It's been great. As soon as I saw, I said, Rock in the Valley. Wait a minute. I know I heard that name somewhere before, and I messaged you and couple maybe a week later it got back to me, and here we are.
Yeah, it takes a little bit to get on us because I've got quite a volume of mail that comes in. I don't always answer it promptly. Plus the fact you kind of hit us during the holidays, and everybody got sick, and it's like terrible stuff. So, but anyway, we're good. I'm playing catch up now with a lot of stuff. So if you haven't heard from me and you're looking at it saying, "Where's Steve?" I will get to you. If you feel I haven't gotten to you quick enough, email me, and I will. Don't be afraid to be a pest with me. I don't mind. So, on behalf of the Rock in the Valley staff, okay, Alexis Steele, Josie Jancy, Sherry Bain, Earl Andrews, Paul Rosa, Kenny Hunt, Joe Holler, and myself, we'd like to thank you very much for tuning in. Did I get everybody? I think I did. I missed you. Yell at me later. And Joe down at the Shanty, thank you so much for your patronage and so forth. We'll see you next week here on Tuesday night. We're going to have something coming on. Haven't scheduled anyone yet. So if you want to get on, give me a shout. I've been trying to figure out what we're doing. And here we are. We're just loving live music. I'm Steve Jones once again, Rockin' the Valley, and we'll be seeing you on the next Treble Clef. Treble Clef, bad music joke. All right. Good night, everybody.
Good night.